Well, well, well. Look at you. A room full of faces cloaked in pretense, eyes that refuse to truly see, ears that tune out what matters, and minds too afraid to grasp reality. Yet here you stand, an anomaly, a disruption in their carefully constructed charade. You feel it, don't you? That electric hum beneath your skin. That chilling whisper weaving through your thoughts, telling you this world isn't what it pretends to be. That's your edge. That's your sixth sense. And oh, how they despise you for it. They fear you because you see through the veneer. You sense the rot festering behind their polite smiles, the fractures in their fragile masks. It terrifies them. Why? Because nothing unnerves the herd more than a wolf in their midst, silent, aware, untamed. They want you docile, blind to their games, shackled by the ignorance that keeps the masses in line. But you're the rebel, the force of nature they didn't account for, the one who gnaws through their chains of illusion. Oh, they'll come for you with their words dripping in false comfort. You're overthinking, they'll say with a patronizing laugh. Don't be paranoid, they'll scoff. But deep down, they know. They know you're not paranoid, you're perceptive. You're not overthinking, you're uncovering the truth. And that terrifies them. You are their mirror, reflecting the lies they hide even from themselves. You dig up the secrets they thought were buried, exposing the cracks in their foundation. You unearth their fears, their insecurities, their sins. And they hate you for it because you remind them how fragile their world truly is. So here's the question, what will you do with this razor-sharp clarity? Will you let them convince you it's a burden? Will you smother your gift until you're just another cog in their machine? Or will you sharpen it, refine it, turn it into a weapon so precise it slices through their deceptions with ease? Your power isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. True power is the quiet storm, the unwavering gaze, the smirk that says you know. It's terrifying. It's beautiful. And it's yours. The climax, the weapon they fear the most. Let them fear you. Let them bleed on the blade of your truth. Because the world doesn't reward those who play it safe. It belongs to those who dare to see it as it is, raw and unfiltered. Yes, it's lonely to carry this vision, this knowing. But it's also liberating. Crowns are never worn without weight, and yours is forged from the burden of seeing what others cannot. Have you noticed it yet? The noise, the chaos, the lies screaming to be heard. Most people float through life deafened by their own comfort, blind to the raw beauty of reality. But you feel every crack, hear every whisper, see every jagged truth. It's maddening, isn't it? To see the world's fractured brilliance while others cling to their illusions. That's why they fear you. They don't know what it means to live with unfiltered sight, to feel the agony and ecstasy of a world stripped bare. They've never tasted the bittersweet clarity you carry. So they lash out. They label you as wrong, broken, or dangerous. They want you silenced because your truth disrupts their carefully curated fantasies. But here's the twist, they know you're right. Deep down, they feel it too. They sense the cage they've built around themselves, even as they try to deny it. And that's your power. They think they hold the strings, but you see the frayed edges of their lies. You hold the real power, the ability to unravel their world with a single glance, a single word, a single move. They will fight you for it, claw at you to conform, to dim your light so their shadows feel safe. But you won't bend, you won't shrink. The burden of truth is heavy, but you've chosen to carry it anyway. You've stepped beyond their petty games, their suffocating rules. You've become untouchable. You're not trapped by their lies anymore. You've broken free, a storm unleashed, a fire they can't contain, and they can feel it. They sense the inferno inside you, the rising force that refuses to be silenced. The world is chaotic, beautifully broken, and you've embraced its raw edges. And when you finally laugh, it's not out of madness but clarity. You see through it all, their fear, their lies, their fragile little world. They can try to crush you, but every attempt only makes you stronger. Every blow they deliver fuels your rise. They think they can stop you, but they're wrong. Because one day you'll stand tall, unshaken, untouchable. You'll watch as their house of cards collapses under the weight of your truth. And when it does, you'll be the one holding the match, the architect of their reckoning. You're not just a storm, they'll learn you're the hurricane that changes everything. And when the dust settles, when their illusions lie shattered at your feet, they will stare at you not with anger but with awe. Because in the wreckage of their deceit, they'll finally see it. They'll see you for what you truly are, not just a disruptor, but a force of awakening. The one who refused to play their games. The one who dared to see beyond the veil. The one who burned everything false to the ground to make way for something real. And you, standing there in the aftermath, will feel no regret. Why? Because you never wanted their approval. You never sought their acceptance. Their opinions were shackles you shook off long ago. What you sought, what you fought for, was liberation. Not just for yourself, but for anyone brave enough to see the truth as you do. But don't think the fight ends here. No, this is just the beginning. Their system will claw back, desperate to rebuild its walls, to reinforce its lies. They will come at you harder, with sharper words, darker manipulations. But by then you will have become something they can't touch. Their weapons of deceit will dull against your armor of clarity. Their attempts to silence you will only amplify your voice. Because the truth doesn't die. It doesn't wither. It doesn't retreat. It grows louder, stronger, bolder with every attempt to bury it. And you are its vessel. You are the wildfire spreading through their fields of delusion, leaving nothing untouched. So let them whisper in fear. Let them scheme in shadows. It won't matter. You've seen the light, and once you've seen it, you can't go back. You've tasted freedom, and no cage, no matter how gilded, will ever hold you again. And as they watch you rise, as they see you walk with a purpose they can't comprehend, they will begin to question everything. They will wonder if perhaps they too have been blind. Perhaps they too have been prisoners of their own comfort. That's when you'll smile, not out of pity but understanding. Because you've been there. You've felt the pull of their lies, the weight of their expectations. But you chose differently. You chose to see, to feel, to be. And in that choice, you didn't just find power, you found peace. The peace that comes from knowing you are unshakable, untouchable, unstoppable. They may never admit it, but deep down they'll know. They'll know you've become the storm they never saw coming, the reckoning they can't escape, and the force that will echo long after their games are forgotten. You are not just surviving this broken world, you're redefining it. Piece by piece, lie by lie, you are carving a path that no one can ignore. And as you stand in the ruins of their deception, you'll understand something they never could. You'll understand that truth, no matter how jagged or painful, is the only foundation strong enough to build a legacy that lasts. And in that moment, as the echoes of their crumbling world fade into silence, you'll feel the gravity of what you've done. Not as a destroyer, but as a creator. Because from their ashes, something new begins to take shape. It's not their lies, their illusions, or their carefully painted facades, it's raw, untamed truth. And it's yours. You'll stand taller, stronger, because you've become more than they ever thought you could be. You've turned their doubt into your determination, their ridicule into your resilience. Every sneer, every whispered insult, every attempt to pull you back into their darkness, it all became fuel. And now you burn brighter than ever, a beacon for anyone willing to see. But this is where your true power begins. It's not just in breaking their system, or defying their expectations, it's in leading others out of the shadows. Because whether they admit it or not, some will see your strength and wonder if they too can be free. They'll hesitate, torn between the comfort of their lies and the call of something greater. And you'll be there, unyielding, unstoppable, showing them what's possible. You won't need to shout. You won't need to convince. Your presence alone will be enough. They'll see it in your eyes, feel it in your silence, and know that you've become something they cannot ignore. A force, a movement, a symbol of what it means to rise above. And those who cling to their illusions, who fight to rebuild their fragile world, let them. Let them cling to their sandcastles as the tide rolls in. Because you know the truth now, truth isn't fragile. It doesn't need their approval or their permission. It simply is. And you've become its messenger, its warrior, its living proof. So, keep going, keep rising, keep shattering the limits they tried to place on you. Because this isn't just about them anymore. This is about everyone who's ever felt trapped, silenced, or unseen. This is about the legacy you're carving with every step you take. And one day, when they look back, they won't see the lies they tried to build or the chains they tried to bind you with. They'll see you a storm, a flame, a force that couldn't be extinguished. They'll see the truth you refused to hide. And in the end, they'll know. They'll know you weren't just a ripple in their pond, you were the wave that changed everything.